Hi, today is November 13th, 2025, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1761 for the year, Bugger Cafe. One place I went to one time was the Bugger Cafe in Pipiroa, New Zealand. What I recall about the place was that there were numerous drawings with captions that had the word bugger in them. I also recall that no one bugged or buggered me while I was there. I was not disappointed. Poem number 1762, Pain in the Dick. They were all over the floor, and each one of them had to be picked up one at a time, which was an awful pain in the dick. Each time you bent over to pick another one of them up and put it in the bucket, you would feel a sharp stinging pain in the dick. This was true even if you didn't have an actual dick. If you didn't have an actual dick, then during the period when you were picking them up and putting them in the bucket, you would have a phantom dick, which is like having a phantom limb, only it's a dick instead of an arm or a leg. When you were picking them up and putting them in the bucket, you would feel a sharp, stinging pain in your phantom dick, unless you had an actual dick, in which case the sharp, stinging pain would be in your actual dick. It was metaphorically a pain in the dick to have a literal pain in the dick, unless, of course, you like that sort of thing. If you are the type that likes pains in the dick, then the pain in the dick that you get from picking up the things that were all over the floor and putting them in the bucket would be solely a literal pain, and not a metaphorical one. Poem number 1763, Swinging on the Flippity-Flop. I was swinging on the flippity-flop, wearing my wax slacks and my fuzz. I was bound and hagged, a real cob-nobbler, harsh realm, that's exactly what it was. I was a lame stain who wished he was a dish. I was a bloated big bag of bloatation. Even the Tom-Tom Club said rock on. They knew from whence I got this quotation. Back in November of '92, Megan Jasper was more than a little shady. When asked for examples of grunge slang, she pulled the wool over the old gray lady. Poem number 1764, She Kissed Me. And she kissed me softly, and I floated on air. And she kissed me hard, and I fell back down to earth. I felt the ground, and I felt grounded. And then she kissed me softly once again, and off I went towards the clouds again. And last poem of the day, poem number 1765, The War of the Roses. Man, when those roses battle it out, it's like nothing you've ever seen. Petals flying, thorns sliced off, stems torn asunder. I could tell you that it's not a pretty picture, but the truth is, of all the wars there ever were or will be, there is nothing more beautiful than the War of the Roses. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.